Alright, we are going to start a self-portrait, which is a drawing of ourselves. We're going to use large paper, pencils, and erasers. This self-portrait is going to be us wearing sunglasses. And in the reflection of the sunglass lenses, we're going to add a little something. We're going to draw a picture of our future. It could be your near future or far future, so it could be like your summer vacation. It could be what middle school is going to look like. It could be something way in the future, like 100 years from now, post-apocalyptic future, whatever you want to do. But we'll get to that later. First, I'm going to show you an example of what not to do. So there I've traced some sunglasses. And these are some common mistakes of drawing faces. First of all, drawing the face too round and too wide. Think about it. Sunglasses are going to be wider than your face or they wouldn't fit. Drawing the nose too high or not long enough. Another common mistake is making the ears stick out really far but not go down far enough. And like a kidney bean smile. Think about your smile. It's not quite that big, even when you're super happy. And make sure that your teeth don't move when you smile. That's another common mistake. We're also going to talk about some of the ways to draw hair. And a really common mistake when drawing people or yourself is putting the hair way too high, like you have a receding hairline. And y'all are pretty young, so no one should have a receding hairline. And we're going to also make sure that we don't have a lollipop stick kind of neck. So, now that we know what not to do, let's start talking about what to do. So, now that you got a pencil and an eraser, we're going to start tracing some sunglasses shapes. I have a few different shapes. Most of them are about the same size. So find a shape that you like, and if you don't like any of the shapes, you can trace the ones I have and then modify them later. But I really recommend starting out with one of these traced shapes. Now, put them about 2/3 of the way up your paper, or you can say 1/3 of the way down your paper, in the middle. That's it, like a rough measurement. So just not quite dead center in the middle of your paper, just a little bit up from that. It should be about 1/3 down or 2/3 up. Go ahead and trace them. Now the cool thing about adding sunglasses in your picture is the fact that eyes are one of the hardest parts to get right of a portrait, and by having sunglasses on, we get to skip the eyes entirely. So it'll make our self-portraits a little bit easier. Because eyes can be super frustrating to draw. Alright, so now that the sunglasses are traced, we're actually going to draw the head behind the sunglasses. And the head is not a circle, it's more of an egg shape, with the smaller part of the egg at the bottom, towards the chin. So I'm going to start drawing the egg shape, and I'm going to make the sunglasses just about in the middle of the egg. I like to hover my hand around the paper to get like a feel for how big I want to draw. It's kind of like a warm-up lap, and then when I feel good about it, I'll start to draw. And I draw lightly at first, knowing that I might erase parts of it. Even when I'm super confident about the shape I'm going to draw, I draw lightly because it takes a few tries to get it just right. So I'm completing the egg shape, making sure that it's actually narrower than the width of the sunglasses, because if it's wider than the sunglasses, it would look kind of funny, because the sunglasses have to be wider than your head or else they wouldn't fit. So I completed the egg shape, and then I start to realize that I made it a little bit too big, so I make the chin, or the bottom part of my egg shape, a little bit smaller. You'll see in a moment. Because I feel like the sunglasses are a little bit too high. So I'm gonna just take a little bit off of the bottom of that egg shape. And that's why it's a good advantage to draw lightly, because you can always erase those marks that you don't end up wanting to keep. So now it looks about right to me. The sunglasses are just about in the middle of the egg, maybe a little bit up from center. And now it's time to draw the eyebrows, which, depending on the sunglasses, depending on your eyebrows, may or may not be visible. But I'm just going to go ahead and draw them just poking out from above the lenses. Now, like I said, this is going to be a self-portrait, so everybody looks different, but we're going to start this all together as a step-by-step with this video, because we all have some things in common. You might look in the mirror later when you get a mirror and realize, oh, maybe your eyebrows aren't quite that shape or not that high, so you can change those later. But one thing that's really pretty much the same on everybody is the fact that your nose is halfway between your eyes and your chin. So I like to mark that with a little line so that I know where halfway is between my eyes and my chin, and that's where I know the bottom of my nose will be. Now the bridge of your nose, I like to draw it kind of like a squeezed in number 11. So it's curving in and then going out as I go down. And actually, if you feel it on your own face, you can feel that your nose, the bridge of your nose, is connected to your eyebrows. And then this is my trick for drawing noses, realistic noses. I draw something that I feel like it's the shape of bicycle handlebars. So it looks like a little cereal bowl or like a stretched out letter U. And then from there I curve it out, which to me at this point looks like the handlebars of a bicycle. And then I add parentheses on each side of it, and that would be like the outside of the nostrils. To me, that's a really easy way to draw a nose. Now, midway between the bottom of the nose and the chin, you'll find the place where your lips meet. So if you're going to draw a simple smile, just go ahead and draw a gently curving line, curving just a little bit upward. Don't let that line go past your nostrils, because no matter how big you smile, your lips never go past your nose. So if you don't want to look cartoony, let that line curve just a little bit, but not so much that it passes the nose. Most people, when they smile, they have a little bit of a crease on their cheeks. You can add those, or you can wait till you get a mirror and really see what it looks like. My trick for drawing lips is a stretched out letter M. Like if you took the bottoms of a letter M and just pulled them outwards, and that would be the top lip. The bottom lip is kind of like if you took the letter U and stretched it out too. It's important not to draw those too dark, or they bring the outline of the lips. If it's drawn too dark, then it really stands out and it looks kind of silly, like you have makeup on. Now you can go ahead and test this out, but the ears, your ears go from basically from your eyebrows to the bottom of your nose. If you just touch your own ears, you can find that out. So from the eyebrows to the bottom of the nose, it's about how long your ears are. When you get your mirror here in a moment, you can test it out for real and kind of see how your ears line up on your own face. Or maybe you have hair that covers your ears, so you don't need to worry about this part in that case. The other thing that is a very common mistake is not drawing the neck wide enough. If you touch your own neck and move up, you'll run into your ears. So your neck should be just about as wide as your ears are. Then it goes down, and then your shoulders will probably go off the page. Now is a good time to get a mirror so that you can actually see the differences in your face compared to the drawing we've made, and things like the hair, all things that make you, you'll have to use the mirror to decide. I'm going to go ahead and draw some hair that kind of resembles my hair. It's important to make sure that you actually draw how low your hair goes. A lot of you probably have hair that goes down to your eyebrows, like bangs hanging down. Or maybe your hair goes down and then back behind your ears. Don't just draw a line on top of the skull. Unless you've completely shaved your head, you won't even see that line. So I'm going to just go ahead and erase it now that I've drawn the shape of my hair. When you're done drawing your hair, you can go ahead and start to draw the frames of the sunglasses. I wouldn't worry about putting anything inside of the lenses of the sunglasses. Like we said earlier, the lenses of the sunglasses are going to have a whole new aspect to it with showing a reflection of what you're seeing, like what's to come in your near or far future. But let's not worry about that just yet. Let's not worry about that today. Use the mirror and start adding some details and shading. If you drew lightly, you can completely change the shape of some things. Like if you decide you need to make your chin smaller or bigger, or your cheeks wider or skinnier. Maybe your ears need to be changed just slightly. Those are all things that you have to look in the mirror to actually determine. We just drew this together to get everything in the right place, more or less. So here I'm starting to fix the frames of the sunglasses. And that's probably about all the time you have for today. Next week we will work on adding those details that make you, you. We'll add some things to the lenses of the sunglasses, and I will show you some great ways to add color to your self-portrait. Go ahead and keep working until the end of class, and turn it into the box during cleanup.